You didn't do like any bad symbols. Okay, getting started. Here it says in the figure, measure of angle 2 is 70 degrees. So what you would do is just like make a note that that's 70 degrees. And if you know one angle, then you could literally figure out all the other angles, provided you have parallel lines and a transversal. So from here, it's asking what the measure of angle 3 is. Well, that's a vertical angle with 2. So this must also be 70 degrees.
I did that.
Good job. Then it's asking for angle 5. Angle 5 is a consecutive interior angle with angle 3, and that means these two angles are supplementary. So we can do 180 minus 70 to get 110, and that is our measure right here. All of the angles in this picture will either be 70 degrees or 110 degrees. Sometimes you can even eyeball it. If it's an acute angle, it's going to be the smaller of the two angles, and if it's an obtuse, it'll be the larger of the two. So if you get stuck, that can help. Angle 8, it is a vertical angle with angle 5, so that would be 110 degrees as well. And then angle 1, right here, it makes a linear pair with angle 2, or it makes a linear pair with angle 3. That means it must be supplementary to that angle, so it is 110 degrees. Then number 5, see this? Number 5, but angle 4, right here, vertical angle with angle 1, 110 degrees. And then angle 6, it's a linear pair with angle 5, so it would be 70 degrees. That's it. So the gist of this lesson compared to last lesson we focused on the vocabulary. This lesson we're focusing on the angle measure. And using the based on the theorems, we can say that the angles are congruent. And conversely, if like corresponding angles are congruent, then you know that the lines are parallel. Or if alternate interior angles are congruent, you know that the lines are parallel. And that's how the theorems are used forward and backwards. Do you want me to say that again? Yeah. Okay. So if you have parallel lines and a transversal, then you could say alternate exterior angles are congruent. Conversely, if alternate exterior angles are congruent, you can say you have parallel lines. You want me to say it again? Okay, I'll use corresponding angles. Okay, if you have parallel lines and a transversal, the corresponding angles are congruent. If your corresponding angles are congruent, you could say that you have parallel lines. And we'll continue practicing. Okay. Now, number 7. So we have a new picture here. We have all parallel lines and then a transversal. It's saying measure of angle 7 is 100 degrees. Wants to know the measure of angle 9. Well, these are alternate interior angles, so this would also be 100 degrees. Then angle 6, consecutive interior angle with angle 9 would be 80 degrees, supplementary to that one. Angle 8, vertical angle with angle 6, so it would be 80 degrees. Angle 2, alternate interior angles, so this would be the same measure here. Angle 5, vertical angle with the 100, so it must be 100 degrees. And then angle 11 here, vertical angle with angle 9, must be 100 degrees. Okay. Anybody remember this from 8th grade? No? Some of you skipped 8th grade, so that's fair. Then 13. Same idea. Measure of angle 3 is 75 degrees, so I'm going to jot that down. Measure of angle 10 is 105 degrees. Wants to know the measure of angle 2. Well, that makes a consecutive interior angle with angle 3. So this must be 105 because 105 plus 75 is 180. Then angle 5 vertical angles here, so this must be 105. Angle 7 makes a linear pair with angle 3, so it'd be 105. Angle 15. Angle 15 is corresponding with the 105. It is also an alternate interior angle, so either way you look at it, it's 105 degrees. 14 makes a linear pair with the 105, so we would have 75 degrees. And then 18, where is it? Oh wait, sorry, angle 9 is 75 degrees. Okay, so next we're going to bring in the algebra. I'm going to zoom in down here as best I can. Okay, so now it's asking us to find the value of the variables x and y. It gives us two variables. As much as we know alternate exterior angles are congruent, we can't set these equal to each other yet because we have two variables and we can't solve for two variables at one time. So what we're going to do is use this here. These two angles are supplementary. They form a linear pair. So we can say 5x plus 40 equals 180. And we're going to solve for x first. Now just going through the steps for solving the equation. I get x equals 28, which is part of the answer. Now I need to find the value of y. Well, I know alternate exterior angles are congruent, so I can say 3y minus 1 equals 5x. And now that I know that x equals 28, I'm going to plug that in there. So 3y minus 1 equals 5 times 28.
I kind of lost you out there because I thought the 40 was going to be 5x, but I was wrong.
Oh, yeah. And you can see that too. One's obtuse and one's acute, so they wouldn't be equal. They would be supplementary. Okay, then from here, 3y minus 1 equals 140. Add the 1 to the other side. 3y equals 141. Divide by 3. And y equals, I forgot, hold on. 141 divided by 3 is 47. And it's not asking for the angle measures, it's just asking for the values of the variables. So at that point, we are done. We're going to do one more practice like that for number 20. Number 20, alternate interior angles are congruent. So we're going to set these two equal to each other. 8x minus 10 equals 7x. And then
minus 10
8x minus 10, yes. So from
equals
here,
7x?
okay, do it in your head, Logan, you got it. Negative 10 equals negative x. Yeah, x equals 10.
You combine like terms, right?
Well, I put this, yes, so I subtracted 8x from both sides.
7 minus 8 is negative.
Okay, so now that I have the value of x, I can solve for the value of y. These two angles are supplementary because they form a linear pair. So 6y plus 20 plus 7x equals 180. I know that x equals 10, so I'm going to plug that in for x here. 6y plus 20 plus 7 times 10 equals 180. So that is the gist of today's lesson. On Schoology, you actually have 2 assignments today. You have homework 3-2, which practices exactly this, and then you have proof practice for Chapter 3. It's the only proof practice assignment we're going to do in Chapter 3. When you do proofs for Chapter 3, it's just like with last chapter where you start with the given, but the theorems that you're going to be looking for are all angle relationships. So if they say angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 and they are vertical angles, that means the reason is vertical angle theorem. Or if the angles are corresponding angles, the reason is corresponding angles or corresponding angles postulate. So if you have questions, raise your hand. We have more time than usual, so take your time with it. Raise your hand if you have questions. If you finish all that, then work on your Khan Academy for the week. And you may get up and get a laptop, bring it to your seat.